Welcome to this week's awesome live stream where we will be giving you absolute value on how to improve your videos. See this, if you will, as your free personal film school, if you will. Now, we're going to get some absolute value. We're going to take you how you can take your idea all the way through the filming and what gear you're going to need and all this sort of stuff. So do not go anywhere. You know, what editing programs you might want to look at, and then to uploading the video, to bringing the video that is just brilliant and a video that you will be proud of. If this is your first time here, I'm Dave from TVR Creators, and I make weekly YouTube and camera and video tips to help you build your brand and your channel here on YouTube. If that sounds interesting to you, subscribe now, hit the like button, and ring the bell if you would like more of this type of content each week. Now, the first thing I'm going to share with you is how to take the idea. Now, for many of us, it can start at any point. Now, for me, sometimes it could be in the morning when I wake up, or in the middle of the night quite often. You know, when do you get your ideas? Put them in the comments below or here on the live chat. You know, do you get your ideas? Do they just randomly pop into your head? It'd just be interesting to know. So how do you take your idea from that into a finished video? Now, for some of you, you know, you are awesome in this, and some of you're thinking, Dave, you know, it just takes me far too long, or don't have enough time. Now, my first power tip I would say is set some time aside. Now, being brutally honest, you know, if you have to go to the doctors or you have to go to work, you know, you tend to have to sort of do those things. But obviously, you know, this is your passion, or it could be your hobby. So see it as, you know, setting some time aside. So it's never going to happen if you, I don't know, I'm too busy because it's raining tomorrow, and, you know, all this sort of jazz. Make the time. That's the most important. If you don't make the time, the rest of the stuff I'm about to tell you will just never happen. So make the time and bring people value. Now, something I want you to think about through this whole process is, in this particular video that you are making, whatever it shall be about, you know, is it solving a problem? Is it entertaining people? And is it bringing people value? Now, for those of you that have watched some of my videos over the last year or two, you will know that I talk about value a lot, but it is so important here on YouTube or wherever that you're posting your video, because if the video isn't solving the problem or isn't slightly entertaining, or at least one of those things, then, you know, in the nicest possible way, it's not going to achieve what you want it to achieve. Now, you're probably thinking, what's that got to do with video making or what's it? It's something that I just want you to briefly think about at every stage of your video. So if you're thinking, you know, I'm just making a video about beans, nothing wrong with that, and, you know, why is nobody watching this, Dave? I've made this video, but I've literally just made it and uploaded it and no one's watching. Think to yourself, did it solve a problem? Did it entertain? And did it bring value? If you didn't do at least one of those things, perhaps you're just doing it wrong. Perhaps you need to think about, you know, do people want that video about beans? You know, I don't know where I'm going with that, but something I want you guys to bear in mind. That's something else that I say a lot in the channel, but it is so true. So I'm just looking at my ideas. So what you want to think about is, so what you're going to film. So, you know, what is the idea? So you've got the idea, and, you know, keep it however you so keep it. Here's a little one for you. Are you a, I was going to say PowerPoint then. Are you a bullet point person, or whatever you want to call them? Or are you a script type person? I prefer bullet points, because I like to have a bullet point and I think, right, I'm going to talk about that. And this is something I want you to think about when you come into filming. I find bullet points really good. So if you've got your bullet points of what you want to talk about, say your video is about, I don't know, the best game or whatever, or a way to bake a cake, you know, you want to think of the different points. So, you know, welcome, the hook of the video, you know, you want the beginning of the video to attract people, to pull people in, and then sort of do little bullet points. So, you know, what ingredients those people might need, and then talk about that, you know, how to bake the cake, you know, how long to put it in the oven, you know, these sort of things you want to think about. So when you're recording, you know, you've at least said the important stuff, and then when you edit later, you can cut out bits you don't need. But, you know, I find the worst thing you can do is literally just wing it, talk about whatever, and hope for the best, especially if you plan to edit that video, because it just makes it really difficult. You're probably thinking, wow, there's a lot to take in. It's just, you know, again, just a few things to bear in mind, take on board, but still remembering, are you solving the problem? Are you giving people value? Or are you entertaining? It's something really, really important. And before we crack on, if you want to support the brand, you can check out our merch. So a link in the description. We've got mugs and t-shirts and all that sort of jazz. And I'm having some water because tonight I had a really nice curry. Let us know in the comments below what you had for dinner tonight. Why not? You know, I had a nice curry, it was really nice. It'll probably give me a bellyache later, but I don't mind because I'm bringing you value. And I'm solving your problem in the hope to help you improve your video skills. So what you want to think about, and then how, when, and why. So basically, I now want you guys to think, you know, where am I going to film? So are you like me and you make a lot of your videos in either your home studio, or you have a certain place you film, or it could be your bedroom, your garage, your garden, the local field, you know, where do you want to film? And then once you start to think of those sort of things, you know, what is the video about? So say, for example, going back to cooking again briefly, you know, it's sort of makes sense to, you know, make a cooking video possibly in the kitchen. It's obviously easier to do the cooking part or the baking part, but at the same time it just sort of gives, you know, it just makes sense. But obviously if you want to mix it up and you want to stand out in a crowd, then perhaps you could, I don't know, cook in the garden or on a barbecue or something different like that. I'm sure there's lots of videos that do that, but you know, it's start to think of those sort of things. And then when are you planning to film? This is something that's really important. So again, what we said earlier, I know I'm repeating myself, but I just want you to be really prepared for when you make your video. So when do you plan to, you know, do your video? Think, right, you know, Tuesday nights is going to be when I do it. At the moment, it's Sunday mornings. Most Sunday mornings at the moment, I'm thinking, right, I've got my idea in place. I'm going to start filming. I'm going to film my particular video in the studio here, or on certain videos, I'll think of certain locations depending on the feel and the mood I want to go with, that sort of thing. Then, you know, if you're a filmmaker and creator, you might want to think what music you want to use. A safe option, I personally, little power tip, is have a look at the YouTube audio library. Brilliant. And I know there's lots of other websites and stuff. But, you know, that's a good start. And, you know, as a safe thing as well, just copy and paste the, you know, the song, the artist in your description. So, you know, it's showing that it's almost like a way of saying thank you here in the YouTube community. But it's just, you know, a safe way of not getting copyright. Because I know it's very, you know, easy. I don't want to get into this now, but it's very easy to want your favourite song and a song you like or whatever. But, you know, it's just not worth it, because I don't want you guys getting flagged and all that sort of stuff. So you want to bring value, but sometimes you might think, you know, do I make a certain type of song? If you're getting value so far from this video, smash the like button and consider ringing the bell if you want weekly content. Absolute value, and because of that, you're going to get value from this video. Alright, so if this is your first time here, before we carry on, I'm Dave from TVR Creators, and I make weekly YouTube and camera and video tips to help you grow here on YouTube. If that sounds interesting to you, subscribe now. And some of you that have watched a few of my videos are probably thinking, Dave, how many times have you done that? Probably too many. So anyway, so you're thinking about where you're going to film. And now you're thinking, right, I've got the location, you know, I'm going to film in my studio. Let's just, for argument's sake, I'm going to film in the studio and think, right, okay, I've got it sorted. I'm going to film on Sunday morning. I know when. Why are you doing this? Again, ask yourself the question before you even start filming is, are you solving a problem? Are you giving value? Or as part of that, are you entertaining? If you're not at least one of those things, perhaps you want to slightly change your video so you are in that category. You know, if you're just doing this for fun, that's the entertainment value, for example. So, right, so you're in your studio, and you think, right, now you want the gear. You want to think about, you know, what gear you want to use. Now, for many of you, it could be your phone, which is fine. There are some massive YouTubers, far bigger than me, that just make content on their phones, and they've literally, no exaggeration, have millions of subscribers. That is absolutely true. So that just proves that you don't need that. Now, a few things I would recommend, nothing wrong starting with your phone. I personally, I like to have devices separate from my phone. I just feel it feels more professional, and I'm very passionate, as you can probably tell over the camera. But a few little things I would definitely recommend is a decent tripod. Something like this would be really good. That's a slightly more expensive one, but only sort of £30, which would be, I don't know, $40 or so. And what I like about that is it pops off like a selfie stick, and it's quite tall. And if possible, obviously if you're like, a giant, it'd be a bit difficult. But if you can get a tripod that's at least your height or a little bit taller, and a little video power tip, like I'm doing now, the point of view, the camera is just slightly higher than my eye level. It just, for those of you that may be a bit conscious or whatever, it just makes you look nice on camera, which is the brutal truth. And it just looks better, looks a bit more professional, and it just looks better. You don't want to, look at all your chins and, or looking up your nose and all this sort of jazz. The amount of, like professionals you see that are, filming off their laptops, for example, and it's in a dark room, and they've clearly not even thought about it at all. And you don't want to be like that. So that's, a little power tip. So I would definitely highly recommend, thinking of the gear you need, I highly recommend, if you've only got your phone, definitely get yourself a tripod. I think my first ever filming, which was, I don't know, must be 15, 20 years ago now, I think I actually had a Hi8 tape video camera. I think it's up there somewhere, and actually I borrowed it off my dad, and it was literally just sat on some books. If that's all you can do with your first few videos, fine. And bear in mind that your first 50 videos could be trash, but it's if you're prepared and you're putting your all into it. I want to get, if I remember, I want to try and get to this later, but then once you've done all this, you want to rewatch your video, see the reaction you get off your growing community, and then think, how can I improve next time? If you've literally just winged it, the truth is it'd probably be really easy to improve. But I like to think, even since I've been doing these weekly videos for the last sort of year, really. Now, even though I've had my channel for years, I've sort of came and gone, or I've just made 1 or 2 films a year, and then, I've left it for 6 months or a year, and then I made like a mini series. But I've really noticed, I sort of wish I had those skills when I made my films. Check them out. I've got an awesome playlist, completely free. Go and check it out on the YouTube channel. Got some really interesting, I'll do a little mini shout, one called Real, which is about PTSD, really good little short film. And another one called Dyslexia, which hence the title is based on dyslexia. 2 topics that I thought, one of them is extremely personal to me, but both topics I thought were topics I thought they were solving the problem because they were helping people relate to that, and I won't get into it now, but, I wanted to make that film about that, and I wish I had the skills, is what I'm getting at, is I wish I had the skills I know now when I was making them, and that was only like a couple of years ago. Because I feel since I've been making weekly content, I feel I've got far better at filming and lighting, and I've got better equipment, better cameras, my editing skills. Even though I've been editing for 15 plus years, I would say, because I've been doing this literally every week for the past year or so, I personally feel that my content's got better. So feel free in the comments below to share where you feel your content's going. I'd just be really interested to see. So that's something to bear in mind. If you're getting value from this, smash the like button. And, that's something to sort of bear in mind. I'm just looking at my notes briefly, is why, what, value, problem, solving the problem. Yeah, I just wanted to add that. So 3 things you want to think about is why, how, and what. So what is your video about? How are you going to do it? And why are you doing it? And, without going into too much detail, just think, if you want people to truly connect with your content, you want to think of why are you doing it in the first place. If you're just doing it for the hell of it, or a hobby, or just something to do, that's fine, nothing wrong with that. But if you want to build a community around your channel, you want people to connect with your video, your film, and this goes with filmmakers as well. If you want your audience to connect with your film, or as a creator with your videos, your content, you know, you want to think, why are you doing this? And this is something I need to ask myself more all the time. You know, I'll be honest, I've made videos that I felt I wanted to make because I thought they might get the views. But if I thought maybe a bit more about why I was doing it, I might have perhaps connected with even more people. So that's something to, you know, something, I know I'm getting a bit deep and meaningful now, but, you know, it sort of makes sense. Check out our merch, link in the description. So is this awesome microphone. I had a bad cold last week. Bear with me. Okay, so you're filming it, you know, you're filming around. If you want a good recommendation for a camera, I'd highly recommend still the Canon M50 or the M50 Mark II. But there's loads of cameras you could get if you want a separate device. But definitely make sure you got a tripod. You don't have to spend the works. The tripod I'm using at the moment for this video, actually, was literally a £10-15 tripod, which would be, I don't know, roughly $20, worth out. And I've had this tripod forever, and it's more or less as it was 15-20 years ago, you know, and I still use it now on these weekly live streams to hold my camera. So, you know, and because I'm sitting down, it's not like the tallest tripod in the world, but I've used it for films and all the rest of it. It's been a brilliant tripod. So, you know, just think, you know, you don't have to spend, you know, I just want to convey with you guys that you don't have to spend, you know, hundreds and hundreds or thousands of pounds or dollars, or euros even, you know, to get the best thing, you know, the best content. You know, it's all about, if you're making a good video, you know, you're talking about something you're passionate about, or you're making a film or a bit of content that you're really enthusiastic about, that will come across on the video, you know, so the lens, if you will do the work. So yeah, so what I would say then is right, think about, you know, your filming. So think about audio. Definitely, if you can, get an external microphone, a clip-on microphone or a shotgun microphone, one clips on top of the camera or phone. You can get cool little frames that connect around your phone, which are really cool. You put little lights on. If you haven't got a light for whatever reason, film outside in the daytime on a nice sunny day. Or, you know, if you want a bit of a gloomy mood, obviously different lighting. Bear in mind, when you edit, you can, you know, customize how it looks. You know, I've got videos and tutorials about that, which I may share. But I've got loads of I've got quite a few editing tutorials if you're interested in that side of thing. But, you know, sort of bear that in mind. Or, you know, if you're indoors, you know, film next to a window. But, you know, if you save a bit or you've got a bit of money you want to spend on this, you know, you're passionate about this, then definitely get yourself a floodlight. I've got two. I only use one, which I'm not using at the minute just because webcams don't like them. But the phones and cameras love them. And it just gives any of you have watched or those of you that have watched my Tuesday videos, you know, they just look so much better because it just gives a really nice natural light, and the lens loves it. And I must admit, my Canon 50 is a great camera for making videos or film. Though I don't think I've actually made a film with it off the top of my head. Anyway, that's a different topic. But that's something to bear in mind. That's something to think about, you know. You know, so think about all these things, which is really cool. Actually, I did make one film with it anyway. Wow. Anyway. Absolute value. You're going to get value from this video. Right, before we carry on, I'm Dave from TVR Creators, and I make weekly YouTube and video tips, how you grow here on YouTube, and I'll give you all the tips on the best cameras and so much more. If that sounds interesting to you, subscribe now, ring the bell to get weekly content, and like if you're getting value, if I'm solving your problem, or if I'm giving you any bit of entertainment. See what I did there? So anyway, that's cool. So, you know, anyway, you filmed your video, and I would just say go for it. You know, use your script, use your bullet points, take your time, film each bit. And something to bear in mind, if you do film in like bullet points or as a script, that will make it easier for you when it comes to editing. So when you come to edit, which I'll perhaps talk about in a moment. So when you come to edit your videos, it makes it far easier. A mistake I have made in the past plenty of times is I've just waffled. So for example, if I was going to edit this live stream, I've got bullet points, I know roughly what I'm talking about, but because on these live streams I do tend to waffle much more than in my videos, I wouldn't personally want to edit this because I know it would be a ball ache. It would take far too long. So, but I know that there's a very small chance I'm ever going to edit one of my live streams because I'm just talking and connecting with you guys. So that's something to bear in mind. So anyway, so you know, take that on board and think about that. And, you know, that's something to go for. Anyway, so think about good lighting, good audio. Anyway, so we get to editing. You're going to get value from this video. Hey, it's Ash. And actually, if you're here, which I think I've just seen you, hey, I'm very well, thank you. I'm almost over my cold. Something I was going to do, actually, and actually you being here just reminded me, I'm just going to do a quick thank you and shout out to Consistent Ash, who did a very nice shout out for me. And go and check out her channel after this video. Check her out. She's brilliant, Consistent Ash. She does awesome reviews on cameras. Mainly a lot of her content's on YouTube Growth. She's an awesome live stream where you can go and hang out with Ash and all this sort of stuff. I really want to do that. I do promise to join one of them. It's only because of this part of the world. It's like 2 a.m. and I'll be honest, I'm asleep by about 11. But one day I will promise to jump on because I just think they're brilliant. And if you're still watching, please just keep doing what you're doing, because I honestly think your channel is awesome, and I genuinely mean that, Ash. So keep doing what you're doing, and thank you so much for watching my content. So if you don't do anything else, go and watch her stuff out. Well, and it's good to have you're most welcome as well. And I think it's good to have different points of view. So, you know, if you like my content, go and check out her content, and then you might find yourself sort of meeting in the middle. And then, you know, you'll probably be an even better creator because you have some tips from Dave, some tips from Ash, you know, and, you know, that's probably the best tag team of all time. And, you know, that will just make you an awesome creator. So keep doing what you're doing. Fish bump to you, thumbs up, you rock. Yeah, you're brilliant. So anyway, editing is... wow, that is a minefield, editing. So put in the comments below on the live chat. Do you edit on your phone or do you edit on your computer? I'll be honest, I'm a bit old school. I prefer computer. I purposely bought a computer that some of you may know for live streaming and editing. I have been editing forever, but I just prefer doing it on that because I just find it easier. I like to have a keyboard and mouse. I feel I can, you know, I just prefer to do that. I find stuff like that too fiddly. I don't know. But if you can edit on your phone, Ash, feel free to drop off any apps or programs you think people might enjoy. I'm obviously more of a PC person. If you're a Mac user, iMovie is supposed to be very good. I think I've used it a little bit years ago. I used to use Adobe for years, the Development Elements version, which was really good, but being brutally honest, it did sometimes crash, but it does have loads and loads of cool effects and transitions. And I would highly recommend just taking your time. See the analogy of how original editor would be with their reels of film, you know, cutting and clipping them all together. And off you go. But the program, if you're interested in what I use Magic Music Edit Pro. I have tutorials on that, so go and check them out here on the channel. And what I like about that, it's really simple, and I don't mean that in a condescending way at all. Why I like that is, especially now, I wish I knew, but I never edit. No, I'm the same, Ash. I'm the same. I don't know. I just prefer computer. I just find it easier. Completely agree with you, Ash. Completely agree. But I like Magic because Magic, yeah, unicorns. No, I like Magic because, as my voice is going, I apologise. I like Magic because it's easy, it's simple, it has plenty of transitions and effects, but it doesn't have it doesn't overwhelm you with thousands that you can buy and add others to it later if you wish. It has a really cool music maker, which is really cool. Obviously, you can just download music tracks of the YouTube audio library, which I would highly recommend. But I just like it. It doesn't crash. It's easy to use. It's very user friendly. It only costs about £50, which would, I don't know what that is, Ash, in dollars. What's that, about $60, something like that? So I would say that, you know, it's a good investment. And when you think, like, you know, one of the professional ones can cost hundreds of pounds per year on a prescription, you know, it's a good investment. And again, you know, if this is your hobby, this is your passion, you know, we all like to invest in our passions, for those of us that are very passionate. So I would highly recommend buying yourself something like that. I don't have a link in my description, sadly, but just check it out on one of your online stores, and I'm sure you can get the latest version, which I believe you can just download and off you go. Or you can just go straight to their website. I got mine off Amazon, so there you go. But what I like about editing, I see editing like... you're going to get value from this video. I see editing like painting. Just bear with me, right? So, you know, you've done all your filming, wherever you filmed, you put it on the timeline, you know, you're editing it all together. And I like to see, because I don't know about you, this is how I sort of do it. So bear with me. If you do it differently, feel free to comment or put on live chat. I almost like envisage in my head roughly what it's going to, you know, once I got the idea, you know, I've jotted down my bullet points, and then I sort of imagine in my head roughly how I want it to come across, how it's going to be edited. But then as I edit, it molds into what it actually becomes, and quite often is a little bit different to, or sometimes completely different to how I originally thought it would turn out, and quite often better. It's almost like you go on this creative journey, you know, you add the music, or maybe you think you find a better track that's actually better than you thought you were going to use, or it just edits better, and you know, you've edited out all the bits you don't need and all this sort of thing. £50 is... Okay, cool. So £50 in Canadian dollars is 84, which still, which is 67. Oh yeah, in US. Okay, that's interesting. $67 in US. That's interesting. Which still, in my opinion anyway, is still not bad for a program that basically allows you to paint your film into art. No, that's cool. That's cool. You know, so it really is. If you're getting value from this, smash the like button if you haven't already. But yeah, it is. It's sort of like, you know, and you can add your transitions and add your effects and all that sort of jazz, and it just becomes something more. It just becomes, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going on a bit of a tangent. Anyway, I've got some questions that I thought I would throw in. I've got some if you got any questions, throw them in, though you probably know as much as I do, Ash, but bear with me. But I had some questions here that came from random people off Twitter, and if you have any questions, hey, yo, Binge Worthy Gaming, welcome to the live stream, boy. Welcome. I am pumped up to give you guys value. Right, here's the first question. Feel free to throw your question in the live chat or in the comments below if you're watching on the replay, like if you're getting value. So the first question, my eyes must be going tired. What's the best editing software? Okay, so this was some random off Twitter. For me, my truthful answer to that question, sorry, my hands are very busy tonight, aren't they? My truthful answer to that would be, what is best for you is what is best for you. I know that's not really helpful. I would highly recommend trying 2 or 3, down some free ones. Like, you know, there's one called Free Cut, I think it's called. No, Shortcut, sorry, on the computer. There's loads of editing apps on your phone. Just download 2 or 3, see what works for you, have a play around, do some like random filming, edit a little video together, see what works for you. But I would highly recommend that. Like I said earlier, Magic, I find that very user friendly. I know 1 or 2 of you that watch my videos have also bought Magic on my recommendation and also very happy with it. My friend Phil was one of them. But yeah, I would recommend that. It's something I wish I did, actually, if I could learn from my mistakes, which is sure something we'd all wish we could do. But I would highly recommend that. I know it sounds a bit vague and maybe feel like I'm deflecting the question, but it is true. It is whatever's best for you. So, you know, what's best for me now might not be, you know, I use Adobe for years. 10, 15 years, and I loved it. It did crash a lot, but I did like it. I loved how professional it felt. Binge Worthy Gaming. Shortcut was incredible. Incredibly difficult to navigate. Oh, there you go. So, you know, point proven. So for whatever reason, Shortcut was not the right program for you. That's fair enough. You know, someone else might like it. So that's why I would recommend Magic. It's just really, I think you can download a demo, but don't hold me to that. Yeah, that's... How did I forget about that? Thank you, Ash. I can never say it, sorry. Divinity Resolve. Have I said that right? It's a really professional looking editing software that's really good. So if you haven't already tried it, hey, Truth Seeker, welcome. Welcome to the value. Yeah, Divinity Resolve is a really good piece of software. Really good piece of software. You're going to get value from this video. If you've only just joined us, I'm Dave, which I'm sure most of you know, from TVR Creators, and I make weekly YouTube and camera tips to help you grow here on YouTube. If that sounds interesting to you, subscribe now. Okay, so what's binge-worthy gaming saying out of Vinzo? Has my strap of improve? Filmio is great if you enjoy a watermark. Okay, that's interesting. All right, if possible then, I personally will try and find a program that doesn't have a watermark on it if possible. I don't think Divinity Resolve does. I think there is a free version and a paid version. Obviously, the paid version will come with much more, which is, you know, thingy bob. But, you know, if you don't mind a watermark, it's fine. I know if I finally start using StreamYard, I will probably have a watermark to begin with. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter, I suppose. I know a lot of people use, like, TikTok videos and, you know, put them on their shorts or their Insta Reels, for example, which is something else I could make a video about. You're probably right, but works for... No. That's if it works for you and you're happy with it, that's awesome. Go with it. Don't feel bad about it. You know, if it's the program for you, go for it. You know, it really is. I found it beyond my... Bringing my cough back. That's brilliant, Ash. I love it. Oh dear. Right. Why you guys thinking about? I'm going to get to the next question. Right. Oh dear. What's the best camera? What's the best camera for YouTube videos? Ash, what is the best camera? I use... Oh, Vegas Movie Studio 16 is a program I would love to use. I don't know why I haven't tested it really. Oh, cool. Can be super simple. Yeah, I believe it's very similar to Adobe, I believe. So, yeah, awesome. My favourite camera, put in the live chat or the comments if you're watching the replay, what is your favourite camera? We all know what mine is. It's the Canon M50. Where are you? Canon M50. Come on. Look. I'm liking it so much. I've got it right here. Best camera for YouTube. Argue with me all you want. There it is. The Canon M50. The best camera for YouTube. There you go. That is the answer to that question. Right, the next one. What is a good light? I'm assuming lighting for videos. I think mine's a newer. I can't remember the brand of my... but basically, I'll be brutally honest, any good floodlight, and you can get a pair or two for, I don't know, £50 or $60 or $80. And I would highly recommend a set of them, or you can just buy one for sort of half that. And it's just a really good way to start, and it makes you feel more professional if you've either got your phone or your camera, and it just feels better. It's just a great way to light your videos, and it just helps it, you know. And when you come to edit, it just makes editing easier. So yeah, the best light, any decent floodlight, really. There. If you see my videos, you'll realise I don't equally. That's fine. Well, you do a lot of live streaming, don't you, binge-worthy gamers? So to be fair, you know, like this won't get edited, really, will it? So, you know, that's fine. I love your videos too, mate. Keep doing them. They're awesome. If you got any questions, throw them in the live chat. Mine is sometimes simple, sometimes a bit more. oh, my cough is really kicking in. Wow. Yeah. I agree with that. I'll be honest, you know, I've been editing for a while, and I'll be brutally honest, some of my videos, like I feel this Tuesday's video, which was a review on the Canon M100, another little camera that I do like, and YouTube has pretty much told me that it was too long, is the truth at the moment, so I might have to edit the title. but I personally felt it was a really good edit. But then sometimes I edit a video and I watch it and I think, nah. I don't know if you guys find that. Sometimes it doesn't matter how much you try, it just doesn't quite go right. And then you have other days, I don't know if you guys agree. I suppose it's like anything, isn't it? And then I'll have another day and I'll go, for whatever reason, it just slots together nicely. The music just seems to go right. You know, the lighting's perfect and things just edit really easily. And then, I don't know, a week or two down the line, you're like, oh, why couldn't it be like last week when it was easy? Just how it is sometimes, you know. I'm sure all you could relate to this when you're editing. You know, your program will start freezing or crashing. Your computer will need to update pointlessly for no reason. I don't know, the sound doesn't sound quite right because, I don't know, you didn't clip in your microphone. You know, all these things that happen to us as creators. It's hilarious, but so true. Oh dear. So true. What is a good mic? Right, I've got a link to this in my description. I don't know if you can see that. Anyway, I use the Zoom H1N a dictaphone. It's technically a dictaphone, and I have used it for sound effects. I have used it for film, my film reel, which I highly recommend you go and watch that. I'm thinking for the community, I'm thinking of changing up I don't know if you've seen my film playlist. I've moved up on my channel, and I'm going to I made a few not jokey, but sort of attempts at making horror films over the years, and I thought I'd put them as it's on the Halloween week. I thought I'd put them together, so look out for that. It's just a bit of fun, really, just so don't take it too seriously. And I was thinking of doing a jokey Halloween video that I'm going to film this weekend that will be posted around the Halloween week as well. I don't know, a search for Bigfoot or Slender Man or something, I don't know, using one of my cameras. I don't know, you'll see. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, absolutely brilliant. Absolute value. Oh, here he is. Is colour grading as important as people make it out? I wouldn't even know. I'll be honest, if you're making a professional film or if you want your content to look a certain way, you know, it probably is. But for, you know, for most YouTube videos or content or live streaming, you know, I'll be honest, when I do my videos, you know, because I like them. I light the videos how I want them to be lighted, if that makes sense. So I don't really have to do much with them, if I'm honest. I just play with the contrast. Sometimes I make it a little brighter. Sometimes I just sharpen the contrast just so it just looks a bit more professional. But, you know, I don't spend hours on it. I don't get all like, you know, sometimes I do over transitions. But I'll be brutally honest, no, you know, as long as it looks good. The important thing I would say is probably more important is, does it sound good? Have you got good audio, which I know you do, so, and you do as well, Ash. And if you've got good audio on your video, then it just makes it so much easier. You know, if you've got good audio, good lighting, you know, editing's easier. I won't worry too much. Play around with contrast and brightness if you want, but I won't worry too much. As long as it looks good and you can hear what you're saying, you know, that's probably more important. Definitely. Oh dear. That's funny. That's brilliant. Oh dear. I've really enjoyed this live stream. Absolutely loved hanging out with you guys. It's been brilliant. And I was just going to sort of go on to so when you're uploading them, there's lots of things you want to think about. So how you want to title your videos. What I would recommend is, when you've done your idea, you want to type in, you know, what the video is about, and then see what people have actually typed in, and then you could use that as part of your title, and then try and sort of like flare it up with something that's sort of catchy, and play around with things, and you'll sort of learn as you go along what titles are working, what aren't. Use your YouTube Studio app, and to make the best thumbnail you can. Maybe use a site like Canva, or if you're feeling a bit braver, edit them on Photoshop and stuff like that. and then go through all the YouTube stuff, you know, like the tags, which aren't as important as they used to be, but write a good description. Make sure you got lots of cool links in your description, you know, links to other videos, links to your other social, links back to your channel, maybe link to subscribe. You know, maybe if you got affiliate links, put them in there, you know, sort of beef it up a bit, so you know it just looks better. It also gives YouTube something to work with, so it knows sort of where to send your video for the first few people, because you know, if the first 10-20 people don't watch much of the video, then no one else is going to see it, and if you haven't got a good thumbnail, no one's going to click it, and it's all sort of like a domino effect. But you know, and that's something myself and even the best, or you know, the most famous or popular YouTubers or creators in the world are still learning. So don't be too hard on yourself and go with it. Post your video, and I would just say, you know, going back to sort of how we started, is your video solving a problem, giving value, and is it entertaining? And if it's one or two of those things, if it's all three, brilliant. But if it's at least one or two of those things, thumbs up to you, keep going. And with each video, improve upon what you do, you know, work on it, think, right, how can I make that better? And just work on one thing per video. Just think, how could I improve the audio in the next video? How could I improve lighting in the next video? And just keep going, improving. And just know that all you watching this now, live or on the replay, you all rock. So on that note, I'm going to leave you all now, and thank you so much for watching. I'm Dave from TVR Creators. Subscribe, ring the bell if you want to get more content, like if you haven't already. If you got this far, thank you so much. I hope it was useful. I hope it solved a few of your problems, and just keep making your content. I look forward to see what else you do. Have an absolutely fantastic colour grade every video. Yeah, go for it. No, cool, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So true. Have a great week. Thank you so much. Thanks again, Ash. We'll get you on the show one day, and I promise to join yours one day as well. Thank you, Binge-Worthy Gaming. Thank you, Truth Seeker. And thank you, everyone else who has watched this live or on the replay. You all rock. You will give me value. You solved the problem of, you know, wanting to get even more value from this. You are driving the passion. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to leave you all now. Have a great rest of your week, and I will see you on the next video. And let's do it all together now. Thank you, Ash. You too. And let's do it all together now. You, Ash, Binge-Worthy Gaming, everyone, you all rock. You all rock. You all rock. You all rock. Do, 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 do.